Our next author spent most of her life as a wife and a mother of 4. Now a widow and a grandmother to 9, she saw an opening in the market for a new type of romance. Here to read from one of her many among the A Modest Romance series, Miss Roberta DeAngelis.
Hello. This nice lady over there gave me a mimosa. Thank you. Like the guy said, I'm Roberta DeAngelis. Just wanted to give you a little introduction to me. Like the guy said, I'm a widow. I have 9 grandchildren, 4 children. I was a housewife for most of my life, and my niece, by my brother's second wife, she's a little different, like a mother, which is okay, And the only problem is that she's reading this trash, this vampire, werewolf, Zamorga trash. And I want her to know that things weren't always like that. They were not always like that when I was growing up, when I was a young girl. So I decided to write a different kind of romance, where men are men, women are women, none of this whatever. And so I'm here to read from this piece. Let me just find it one second. I'll leave it backstage. No, I found it. Here. Thank you. Right. Oh, glasses. There we go. So bright. Oh my God. Does this block my face? No? Yes? You can answer me, I need to know.
Good.
Thank you. Somebody answer me. Go ahead. All right. A Modest Romance. Nicholas and Nicole. One Sunday morning, Nicole was diligently attending catechism. She was a little tired because the night before it had been her 14th birthday. Do they just talk like this? When you're performing? You talk out loud like this? What kind of place is this? All right, here we go. No, it had been her 14th birthday, and her parents had thrown her a slumber party with her closest friends. Nicole's best friend had brought some sherry for them to try, but Nicole knew she had church in the morning. Being clever, Nicole helped her best friend Gabby to go to sleep by suggesting that they try the sherry some other time, and that they were all too stuffed from the birthday cake to drink. Regardless, Nicole was still a little sleepy since she fell asleep at 11 p.m. after talking about boys in the class. Nicole had told her friends that she liked a guy named Nick from her catechism class, but that she didn't think he liked her back. All the girls tried to help her make a scheme to get Nick to like Nicole. Nicole blushed. She didn't want to push Nick into anything he didn't want to do. Sister Agatha finished her lecture on the reasons why Christ endured the crucifixion before dismissing the class for the day. Nicole, can I see you for a moment, please? Sister Agatha said. Nicole's heart thumped in her chest. She did her best to conceal her yawns from Sister Agatha, whom she loved dearly and did not want to offend. What Nicole had not noticed, but Sister Agatha had, was that Nick had been staring at her the entire lecture, and he was waiting outside for her. Nick was the last classmate to exit the room and he was careful to leave the door ajar so that he could eavesdrop on the conversation. "Nicole," Sister Agatha said sternly as she shuffled her papers, "is everything okay with you this morning? I noticed on more than one occasion that your hand went to your mouth to cover a yawn." Sorry. "Oh, I'm so sorry, Sister Agatha. I had my birthday party last night, and I'm afraid I stayed up a little late with my friends," Nicole said apologetically. "That's okay, Nicole. I wanted to talk to you about something else. I was just checking on you," Sister Agatha said. "What is it that you wanted to talk to me about, Sister Agatha?" Nicole asked. "You are growing up into a wonderful young woman. Becoming a woman is a beautiful thing, but it can also be very dangerous." "What do you mean?" Nicole asked, surprised. "My mom already talked to me about how we dispose of our special products. I swear I only flushed it that one time, and it was by accident. It just fell out of my hand. And I already confessed about that to Father DiCaprio," Nicole said, frantic, thinking she might have destroyed the septic system in the beautiful schoolhouse. "Oh, that's not what I meant, Nicole," Sister Agatha said, blushing. "I wanted to speak to you about the men who might be trying to get to know you. Men who you may feel obligated to associate with." "What do you mean?" Nicole asked Sister Agatha. "Well, as a sister to Jesus Christ, I have not had much experience with men. To be honest with you, I took my vows as soon as I could because I was excited to be married to Jesus Christ. But I was not born 1,000 years ago, Nicole. I know that boys, even very good boys who attend catechism, have trouble keeping the devil away. The devil is particularly powerful in regards to young men your age. He sends them dirty dreams in the night and tricks them into seeing naughty things in completely normal things. They might look at a beautiful young woman like you, Nicole, and the devil will whisper terrible things into their ear about what they could do to you. As a woman, the Bible tells us that we are particularly weak to Satan's wiles. But when Satan uses the persuasion of the young men that we know, we might not be able to see through Satan's trickery so easily. We might think it's okay to kiss here and there. It's just a little innocent kiss. But Nicole, when you give a kiss away, you're saying you will give your virtue away just as easily." "Oh no, Sister Agatha. I have promised to be faithful to God until marriage." At this, Nick sulked behind the door from where he was still eavesdropping. "I know you're a good girl, Nicole. But I wanted to talk to you about my experience so that you might have a few choices as you get older. You see, I was a rather pretty young girl at your age. But no matter how much I protested that I too was saving myself, the boys were not so respectful of my intentions. That is when I decided to promise myself to Jesus Christ instead. When you choose Christ over mortal men, they immediately feel ashamed for trying to rob you of your pious virtue. They understand that they will never measure up to Christ, that they will always be low to his greatness. Sometimes it makes them very angry because they know that you've chosen a better man, the best man in this whole universe, because he is not of this earth. He is not trapped in the flesh, and he cannot be tempted by the devil. When I took my vows, Nicole, I could feel Christ fill me up. It was an ecstasy, Nicole. I don't believe there's a feeling like this on this earth. It was an otherworldly elation, the peak of happiness, the zenith of bliss, the climax of joy. what you mean, Nicole said, blushing. Sometimes, when I'm singing the high notes in choir, I get goosebumps. I get this tickling feeling and I get a little excited. Yes, Sister Agatha exclaimed. That is just a fraction of the jubilation you would feel when you become a bride of Christ. Nick, whose heart was being squeezed by the devil, sank further into despair. He had planned to grab Nicole from the moment she walked out that door, throw her against the wall, and kiss her hard on the mouth before she could protest. Now that Sister Agatha, now that Sister Agatha was talking about Nicole as if she belonged to Christ already, a war raged inside of Nick. The devil was making him angry by telling Nick that Nicole should be his. But the good in Nick felt guilty for these thoughts. Excuse me. Thank you. But the good in Nick felt guilty for these thoughts, for trying Christ's wishes and having Nicole for himself, and for not respecting Nicole's virtue. It was the most exciting day of my life when I became a nun, Nicole, Sister Agatha continued with a glint in her eye. I remember from the moment that I said amen, I could feel Christ enter me. My heart beat faster and faster. My cheeks were flushed. I could feel him in my veins, warming me with his throbbing love from toe to fingertip. I nearly cried out. I was just so excited to be one with Christ. Now, excuse me. Throbbing love, all right. Cried out, all right. Excited, all right. Oh, all right, sorry. Christ is always with us, Nicole. But when you are alone at night, try thinking about serving Christ. When you are praying, close your eyes and think of him. Remember him carrying the cross on his shoulders, his arms bulging from the weight. Think of the Roman soldiers stripping him of his tunic so that they might whip him. Think of all that Christ went through for you, Nicole. Think of how you might repay him. And think of devoting yourself to him, Sister Agatha said breathlessly. Wow, Nicole said. I never thought of it like that. It sounds a lot better than getting married to a man. I heard it's supposed to hurt very badly, Nicole said, blushing again. That frightened me too, to be honest with you. That was part of the reason I decided to become a nun in the first place. Being a sister and a bride to Christ was the right choice for me. And in a way, I have more children than any woman could ever have. By teaching catechism, I am able to be a mother to hundreds of children like you. Nicole, I wanted to provide you with a different perspective. As you grow into a woman, keep in mind that you have the power to do what you wish with your soul. And just remember, Christ is always with you. Every time you swallow him as the Eucharist, he is in you. When you close your eyes to pray at night, he is lying beside you. Sister Agatha said this before she pulled Nicole close to her breast, within which her heart was beating very fast. Christ had flooded into her heart so that she could pass along Christ's desire into Nicole. Thank you so much, Sister Agatha. I was a little afraid, and now I feel less afraid, Nicole said, brightening up. And remember, Nicole, if there's anything you ever need, anything in the world, I'm always free to speak to you about anything you want, okay? Sister Agatha said. I have a feeling I'm going to see more of you in private, Sister Agatha, Nicole said with a smile as she pulled away from Sister Agatha's arms. I'm glad we had this talk, Nicole. Me too, Sister Agatha. Call me Sister Aggie. All right, Sister Aggie. And with that, Nicole walked out of the classroom where she saw Nick cowering in the shadows, staring back at her with a funny look in his eyes. She turned her nose in the air, knowing that the devil was in his heart. She walked out the door as the noon sun rose, filled with the prospect of becoming closer to Jesus Christ. Thank you. Are there any questions? No? All right. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Which way do I go? All right, this way. Why didn't you say that in the first place?
Well, that was somewhat erotic.